Hello, and welcome to Mackie Around the Campfire. Today we're talking on the subject of life. Life is a game.
Yeah, Mac, what do you think of the human rights update?
Respectable, Buster, but not as expansive as the Roman Empire expansion pack.
Yes, but that update was patched.
Oh, sad news, Buster. At least we still have the Democracy DLC.
Yeah, good old election for realm mods.
Yes. How great. Well, no time now. Are you ready to speak on the coming update? It's been talked about in announcements for quite a while now.
Of course, anytime, Mac. I was born ready. It is a massive balance update, I hear too, and many accounts will be terminated.
Yeah, Buster. So let's get into this edition of Mackie Around the Campfire. Alright, I'm your host, Mackenzie, and I'm joined here with Mike and Buster. What are we talking
What's up,
about
home
today?
slices?
Yo.
Yo.
For the last time that I heard, we were talking about video games.
Yes. I'm ready for some video game speak.
And we're not talking about waifus today. Just to clarify for all the weebs at home.
Okay, thank you. Alright,
See,
so...
we're already making gold. He doesn't even know how to respond to that.
Yeah, I don't. So, I'm gonna be explaining life as if it were a game.
Mm-hmm.
Basically just real life things in like the setting of a olden game. I'm gonna explain it topically, so I'm gonna go from like the setting of the game to like the objective of the game, like how to win it and stuff.
Right.
Yeah, so I'll start. The game begins in level negative 7,000.
Oof.
Yeah.
Or it's that low in
that's a
hell.
lot.
Okay, sweet.
Yes. Okay. So it's sort of like there's dungeons. It's one of those games where there's dungeons and there's quests, there's keys, there's chests, there's farming, there's trading. And there's also some building and destroying, and the trading, the farming, the building, destroying are not like the main part of the game. It's big and open worlds, and it's mostly the main part
Like
of the
Minecraft.
game is well, not totally, because the main part of the game is you're trying to beat the dungeons and killing mobs and like defeating bosses.
Right.
So modded Minecraft. I got you.
That's what it sounds
Okay.
like, yeah.
Yeah. Either that or Skyrim, but I don't think you can farm in that.
Yeah, basically.
Right?
But it's not totally, because in level negative 7,000, which
Right.
there's a reason why we're only talking about that level for this point, because you stay there for quite a bit. There's realms, and there's different territories and lands. So like those sort of games where like there's portals, you can go to like different regions and stuff. It's sort of like that. And
Travel.
Doctor Strange,
Yeah.
I like it.
yeah. As for the type of the game, I'd probably say it's adventure, or it's a big mix of different games, like build and destroy and stuff. And some people make it into a battle royale. Yeah, it's some people like to make it that. Some people could
Not
say it's a
Fortnite.
first person shooter.
Oh, so Fortnite, but on steroids.
No.
No, not even close. All right. You said
Okay.
battle royale and shooting, so that's what I assumed.
There's okay. What do you guys? If you guys were to like categorize it in a game? What would you say? I think I'd probably say it's an MMORPG.
Right. I
Oh,
could
no.
agree with that to an extent.
So if you got
Because yeah, go ahead, Mike.
No, go for it. Go for it.
Yeah, because like if you're if you're like leveling up, then that means you're learning skills and you're helping people. Like, as you help people, you gain more knowledge, you gain more experience, and I mean that's what goes on in an MMO. You're going around with real people, doing stuff with them, helping other people, getting quests done, tackling on big fights like bosses and stuff, and it's all with other people. So yeah, I could see it as an MMO.
Yeah. So
okay, Buster.
if
That's
RuneScape,
It's RuneScape.
if RuneScape and Fortnite had a baby,
well,
Knight.
okay.
that would be the game that you would be describing to me.
Fortscape.
You bring an interesting point, but
Rune Knight.
so it's not as great as it sounds though. There's a whole lore. We'll get into it in a bit. There's a whole lore though.
Right.
When you're down there in level -7,000, you're not having that sort of a great time like RuneScape. Your weapons break in about 3 hits, and the mobs that you can damage, you barely damage them at all, and the damage you do, they heal back so quickly.
Right.
And I guess I'm not sure.
Sounds like Breath of the
if-
Wild on hard mode.
On steroids.
Just
I don't know why
Everything's on
steroids is on my
steroids.
mind right now, but
there's NPCs too, so the NPCs, they give a lot of riddles and hints of how to complete the game. There's different items they can give you and stuff, but in the end, it doesn't really help you out because the one boss that's down there in that level, his health is like crazy. His HP is like pretty crazy, and that would matter, but it doesn't even matter because he hits from so long range that you can't even damage him.
right, so you can't even get close.
Yeah. So this is the state of the bottom level of the game, level -7,000. As for like the authority, like how the game is set up with the leadership roles, there's the dev. So there's only one developer of the game, and then there's an admin, and there's mods. There's Realm mods, and a few. I'm not sure exactly how many years ago it came out, but a few years ago they came out with the clans update, and it was, I'm totally not referencing any other game here, but they have they have a leader, a co-leader, an elder, and member roles in the clan, and there's a few clans per realm, and the whole purpose why they created clans was to be able to finish the game together. And
Right.
the sad description I gave of the players, you probably shouldn't put too much hope in these clans. For just to base it off that, nobody's skilled enough down there, obviously, because you could be skilled, but it won't really matter because you don't actually have good enough skill to do anything down there. Your weapons are faulty.
Right.
You have no resources. Nothing like your
It's
skill
extremely
is
hard to level up and gain skills and abilities.
Yeah. There is a door though, and so sounds like there would be hope. But the door only leads to three different doors that lead to more doors. More like there's just eventually there's 613 levels in total, and many clans, they try to make raids, like they try to raid and defeat the boss and try to unlock the door, and I'm not sure, Mike, maybe you might know this. Have you guys ever played Escapists?
I have not.
I have not, but I have seen some videos on it. It looks pretty fun.
this game is like it in that you can also like for the key locks that you're trying to escape jail in that game.
Right.
In this game, I guess you could say you're trying to escape
Oh, the
jail.
Escapists. Yeah, I've played it before. Yeah, I've played it before.
Oh, you have? Okay.
Okay.
I have, yeah.
You know how you have to like use key molds and try to like unlock doors that you don't have keys for?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So in this game, that door that you have to get to the next level, the clans, the main goal of the clans has been to try to mold a key or to find a key, and so far nobody's been able to find a key. And when they do have the molds, they either break down while they're crafting it, you could say.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody can unlock the door, no one can defeat the boss. The the best clan, however, it's the best clan's a bit different because the dev gave them special instructions, and one of the mods came and gave it to them. It was instructions outlining how to actually beat level -7,000.
Right.
But nobody's skilled enough, and the sad description I gave of their weapons still doesn't change. They're still unable to defeat that level. So I would say this is pretty sad, no? A pretty sad state.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't sound too fun at all.
No. So originally, like when the game first came out, the dev made it a bit more fun sounding. So you spawned in the center lobby.
Mm.
It was this center lobby. It's kind of like detached from the levels. They were never worried about their levels or anything. You could just chill with the admin in the lobby. You could just chat with people. There was free range of building. And it was also really cool because when there was no enemy mobs, but even if you could be like attacked by an enemy mob, your health never went away. Like you always had perfect health, and
Kind of like you were in creative mode.
yeah. So it's basically like creative mode, but and I know Mike, you're gonna like you're interested in this, but
Did someone say Minecraft?
no, no. It's more sad than that, Buster. Because it was creative mode, people could grief, right? So people have been complaining about the dev, like why did he make it creative mode in the first place so that people could grief? Like why didn't he just make it restricted so no one could like build like that?
Right.
But that wouldn't be creative mode, right? Like if you couldn't build like that wouldn't be creative mode. Anyways, they built really cool structures. They farmed a lot. Like you could build like your whole farming empire there, practically. But they griefed it, so now you guys know what happened, right? Do you guys know what happened?
In terms
Let's
of what?
say it basically all went downhill from there.
I would assume a reset happened.
Maybe, but what really happened was, yeah, I guess it's sort of a reset. Like it was, the admin, he made it to the state of the game that we were just talking about, like that place was closed off. They weren't allowed to chill with the admin. They're to that level. And now there's like the mobs that, like, by the way, the mobs, like, yeah, the boss one shots you, but even like the super low mobs, they can just one shot you too. It's
That's
not
pretty OP.
yeah. So we just went on with like the whole state of the game, but the next chapter of the game, like like this game, it has chapters. Like if it was Christmas in real time, it would be Christmas in the game, right? So
Right.
it goes like by chapters and seasons, and the next chapter is sort of like the first sign of any hope. The When you talk to the NPCs, sometimes they would tell you of like, oh hey, the admin's gonna come visit, or like in your announcements, sometimes it would
Huh.
like every now and then it would like remind you, hey, the admin's coming to like chill soon. And so the admin came. It was really contrary to people. They had such a bad view of like the dev and the admin, because oh, this game's such a joke. Like, well,
Mm-hmm.
they liked the game, but it was more like, oh, the leadership is so terrible. Like the dev doesn't know what he's doing. He terrible
Mm-hmm.
care for his players. Um, he always so detached. Like that was their thoughts of the guy. But
Right.
contrary, like you heard the clans, they were trying to diligently make their way up to the levels, right? Like they were trying
Yeah.
to do it on their own. This was quite the opposite, because the dev came. He's like up in level, whatever, however far you would like to say, and he
Mm-hmm.
comes down and he walks around sometimes. So he comes around, and if you find him, or he finds you. Sorry, rather he finds you. There'd be a text box would appear on your screen, and the terms would be like surrender your account to go under his name, and then it'd be like, like in a trust test where you drop all your items. I don't know. I
Right.
guess there's only a few games that would have this, but
Mm-hmm.
you would drop all your items, and he would sort of do this command where he would lock you into his position, and if you said yes, he would drop all of his items into your backpack, and
Mm-hmm.
he would like friend you, and think of this as the admin. He has admin permissions and everything,
Right.
and so he has infinite health, and let's just say his weapons are pretty good. And so if you say that you would accept that offer and you press yes, that's what you get. But
Mm-hmm.
if you press no, yeah, there's no getting out of this level for you.
Right.
We can
You're
see
just
so
stuck
far.
there.
Yeah,
Hmm.
and there's no X. Like, some NPCs you can just press X and answer later. This one, it's like there's no X. Like it's locked in. If you try like shut off your console, it'll just come back on that screen, and it'll just be the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
So most say no, but some say yes. And when this happens, he goes with you, and he goes through the whole level of -7,000, killing all the mobs and the boss. He has the key. He's the admin. He has the key. He unlocks the key, and then he goes through all those levels, all 7,000 levels.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what? He gives you the admin power when he brings you up back to the lobby that was locked. Like he unlocks the lobby, the main lobby, and you get to chill with the dev.
That's really cool.
And when that happens, he just finished the game for you, right? So all
Mm-hmm.
your achievements are done by him. Your quests are all completed by him. And so when
He's
you
helped you all the
go,
way.
when you bring, pardon, what was that, Buster?
I say he's helped you all the way through.
Yeah, it was more like a complete carry, because he like killed everything for you.
Mm-hmm.
But when you get to the top, the dev friend requests you, and come on, it's basically a better version of the original lobby, because you have like
Mhm.
Right.
admin privileges and everything. Like he gives you some of that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the way in which like your accepting works and how it works with like all the game mechanics and everything, we can't talk about that too in depth. It's more complex than how we've laid it out. But the
Mhm.
one thing that is sure is the people who abuse the privileges never really were friends of the admin. Like they abuse their
Right.
privileges, and they're usually banned. Well, they're always banned, but I say usually because there's some people that are just the regular people who are friends of the admin are brought up there, and there's a lot of discipline in in the game, and really it's contrary to what the main players think. Like the whole audience thinks that the dev doesn't know how to deal. There's actually
Right.
a good dealing with issues. Anyways, we'll go on. What do you guys think so far?
I think it sounds like a pretty interesting game. It sounds
Yeah,
like
I'd
you
love
struggle a lot in the beginning, but if the admin comes by to help you, it becomes a breeze. There might be some struggles along the way, but he's gonna help you get through them. He's gonna be right there.
Yeah, it sounds like a very interesting game. I'd love to see the complexities of this game in the future.
Yeah. The next part is sort of like, it's sort of weird because you know those games where I'm pretty sure Kirby does this. I'm not sure though. Just that image comes to my mind when I think of this. Like a game where when you finish it, you go back and you like after you finish it, you can go back through the game and there's like
Right, a hard
Easter eggs
mode.
you can find.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so this game's like that. When that happens, you complete the game, you get to go back. Like so there's a new clan formed by the dev when that happens, and everyone who accepts yes, like to that the dev's offer, you get teleported to the main lobby, and you all automatically are joined in this clan. There are 12 realm moderators that were chosen to moderate the clan and as the leaders, and
Right.
they run successful raids though. Like it's completely opposite of the clans that were chosen by the dev. Like they had their instructions from the dev and it was still unsuccessful. But they actually run successful raids, and they have the admin dropped his weapons in their backpack and all his like healing potions and stuff like that. Not sure if they
Right.
call that in the game. It's not fleshed out
It's like all
perfectly yet.
the high top tier stuff.
Yeah. So you do like tons of damage. So when the game season changes again, just for those players that said yes though, it changes to sort of like a strategy war game. Like you're conquering the land down there. It's like you're trying to conquer the realms, and since you already beat all the bosses and such,
Right.
you still fight bosses. It's a strategy war game to like, I'm not sure if any of you guys play. I know some of my friends at school, they play like, it's basically like World War II, but you're playing it.
Yeah. Probably played something like that. I remember playing a game called
Maybe.
Caesar 2 that was kind of like that.
Mm.
Build an empire, and then you'd have wars that you'd have to go through.
It's basically like that. So when they get down there though, they're obviously pretty happy though, because they literally just finished the game, and the admin they had found the thing that unlocks the door, and they got back to the lobby. Like they found out how to win the game, and so they offer all the normal players, like they go. One of the main parts of like the clan is it's sort of like, you know, those clans that are sort of exist. Maybe you guys don't know this, but like in some games I play, like there'd be clans that are just medics, or clans that are just like just go, and they exist sort of like corporally to try to help other players or like provide assistance. So these guys, since they're friends of the dev, they message him, all the people down there, they message his text box to them, and it's the same thing. It's the same choice we get back to. The same text pop-up comes on their screen, and they're able to say yes or no. There's no X. And yeah, most people reject, but still, again, some people say yes. So the numbers keep adding to the people who are winning the game, and so the seasons progress, and there's more chapters. The main objection though, they bring a main objection. They're like, come on, if a dev's gonna make a game, they mocked, because like he made the game so impossible that you have to have his admin carry you. Like that's They think that's a terrible game because you need to be carried, and they rejected, like, no, I'm not gonna accept your offer. I want to finish this game on their own, and they keep with their clans and their raids, while literally the clan that the admin makes, they're just chilling, like they're literally farming. They've already completed the game. They're chilling. They're farming. They're not chilling. They're not chilling. They're definitely doing raids.
They're doing stuff.
Yeah. So that pretty much covers like the whole clan and everything that happens down there. But here I'll tell you a story of something that happened because of some decisions some regular players made. One day the dev was like coming down there, and like sometimes I mean, in a game I've played, Growtopia, which you guys don't know, but if you lived in Indonesia, you would definitely know it. But when the mods come into like your world, they can like make it so that you can't kill them, or they can like turn it off. So one day the admin was coming down to like offer, and after he was done his long course of duties for that day, he converted his account to a regular player. So he turned off his weapon immunity, and he changed his health to a normal physical health bar, and yeah, they killed him. But the dev, he has connections with the dev, and he's the admin too, so it's fine. Like, heroes never die. So
heroes never die.
Yeah. So he was resurrected, and in the same way the people try to kill his messengers, like those people in that clan that are sending that text box, they try to kill him too. And there's so many warnings to them, like when they're like just hitting the person for like a few hits, it's like, hey, warning, don't kill this guy, and they keep doing it. And so people die. It's not good in any way, but it's also very glorious because they're just like, it's so futile that you would try to like do that, because like the admin's clan is still prevailing. They still have the best exclusive weapons. You can't really do anything. Yeah. Okay. This last part though is, we came here not just to talk theoretically, but we're also talking about something that's coming in the future. So there's this new update coming. I'm not exactly sure when it's coming, but it's been in the announcements for about, I don't know, like 2 weeks or 2 months, 2 years. I don't know. I'm honestly not sure. But
Right.
since there's chapters and seasons, there's coming a time where the day and the time that you had to finish the game is now up. And so the dev's gonna teleport all the carried peeps, like all your people in that admin's clan, and the people in his friend list, they're gonna teleport him into the lobby. And it's not good for the other players because the time is up. It's like the game has a time limit for you to finish, and you didn't get
and you took too long.
Yeah, so that's kind of like, imagine playing the game like your whole life, and then like
you had your chances to get the game done, but you kept refusing help.
Yeah, but like imagine all like the time and everything you put in the game, and then it's just like that the update comes in your account. Like the accounts. Hold on, I don't know what your views guys are on this. I'm honestly not decided my share. I'm not sure what the truth on it is, but it's either gonna be their accounts. No, I think I know what I think about it. I don't think it's this one, but some people are saying that the accounts are gonna be deleted. Like their accounts are gonna be deleted, or they're gonna be like, in like the games where sometimes the admin has a little bit of fun, and they like troll you. They're gonna be like teleported to this. Yeah, they're gonna teleport you to like this dark room, and you're just gonna be like keep respawning on fire, and you're just gonna keep like dying. It's gonna be like slow and miserable. No, but it's definitely not a light thing. But
Right.
what do you guys think on that?
Yeah, I mean, it might get to it could just be a complete wipe, you know. That could be what happens.
Oh, sorry, no, yeah. So there is that aspect, but also here's the good news. Here's like the good part is all those friends of the admin and the dev that
Mhm.
are up there in the lobby. This is going to
Right.
be the time when the time is cut off. There's also the servers are going to be wiped, and there's okay. Get this: the game's going to transition to a VR format. So there's going to be like,
Ooh.
yeah, no, it's really cool. There's going to be a new map, better items, and a little bird told me that um Jolmes is part of that CG team. Like,
Oh,
oh yes,
there's gonna be some
there's
good
gonna be
CG.
yeah, no, they're getting like the top of the line CG artists
Mm-hmm.
to pull that off. They put in I'm not sure the exact number, but they put in billions of dollars for the game to transition to VR 8K. There's
Ooh, 8K. That's nice.
Yeah, there's also gonna be the lighting's gonna be even better than. I mean, I know it's probably not the best lighting, but the game always gets me fired up because the lighting is so serene. In
Mm-hmm.
Valheim, it's gonna
Right.
let's just say it's gonna be like 100 times better than Valheim. I'm not sure the exact number there. There's gonna be more realistic
Right.
colors, and the gaming company also announced free VR. So the gaming company, like they
Ooh.
literally they're pretty fly. They're announcing that they're gonna ship free VR to anyone who doesn't have a compatible console.
Oh
Um,
wow.
That's nice. Sign me up.
yeah, I know, right? Um, all right. So that's pretty much the narrative about
Mhm.
the history of the world, basically, just real life through a game.
Right.
What are your guys like first thoughts?
I think that's a really good way of explaining it. It was really fun thinking about it like that and seeing how the game continues to grow and how it ends, but all in just like a different perspective.
Yeah, you, Mike?
I don't know. It kind of reminds me too much about real life.
That's the point.
Like,
Yes.
I don't need to
Yeah.
like leave my current life just to relive my life in a video game like this. I don't know. I don't know. I'll have to be convinced.
Thanks for joining us today for this session of Mackie Around the Campfire. Here's a sneak peek from the rest of the conversation.
Just asking what analogy are you specifically referring to?
Oh, okay. Basically, that we're so it starts in like our state, like we're unable to do anything. Like, so I guess this translates to real life. Like, we're all born naturally having evil tendencies, and we enjoy sin, even though we don't openly admit it, or it's not as prevalent as we could see maybe in others if we're gonna compare. But
Mm-hmm.
we all have like
Right.
the plague that we can't finish the level, and we're really like we're done. And then like the admin comes and it's like, I've already completed this if you just surrender your account to me and you like do like a
Right.
trust test and like drop your items, like.
Mm-hmm.
And then he like carries you through, and then he gives you, so like obviously Jesus, like he comes and he completes the whole law for us. That's why earlier I
Mhm.
said there's 600 and I think 613 levels, specifically with the door, like when you get through the door. And so the
Mhm.
you guys got that the when I was saying the dev's clan, like the dev gave instructions to a clan and they couldn't do it, like you understood that was talking about Israel, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or maybe just went over your head, because it's funny, I was talking to one of my friends at school, and then I went through this whole entire metaphor, and he was like, "Wait a minute, this is gonna be one of those Christian things again." Um,
How'd you know?
and I was so surprised that he didn't catch on earlier. But basically, like the whole point of the offer is it highlights the weakness in the players that they can't do it on their own. Not even like Israel, who got the law from God. Like the law only condemned them because they weren't skilled enough to complete it. So just like, haha, you can't even do this. It was kind of like that's what the instructions were like. But then Jesus completes it, and so it's like a trust. Like when you launch yourself on to Him, like now we're thinking in real life, like propitiation, like Jesus was in our place for the wrath. Like we couldn't measure up to God's standard, and Jesus took the wrath for our sin, so that when we put our trust in Him, it's like God sees us like, you have been as good as my son, and you've been as obedient as my son, and you're good, and your sins are paid by Him. And then and like He makes you God's friend, and He brings you to have eternal life, where He's gonna make the new heavens and the new earths. And so that's we were bringing this all to the point of the next update. Like that's the hot topic, the next update.
Yeah.
Like, talk to me with the next update is so I guess before we talk about the next update, we should probably talk about that whole work of like the admin. Like, give me like a few lines about that.
About like how the next update is going to be.
Well, I was thinking do that next, because the only way for anyone to get to the next update is through accepting like the offer of the admin, but it comes mainly from like what the admin did. Like,
I mean, like from what I've heard, it sounds like the admin freely gave up his privileges to be a normal player. And if I would assume it was something that he said that led the other players to kill him. Am I right in that assumption?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, how many days was it before he went back to being an admin? Do you think?
Kind of fuzzy on that part. Was it like? I think it was 40 days. I'm not entirely sure. Or maybe
40
60.
days.
I think it was
60.
60. No. Come on.
Okay. So he basically revived his.
Well, sorry, no. Sorry,
Yeah.
no. Mike, I meant like that's. Oh, so you're talking about the initial, like when he got his privileges back. Like, I mean, like when he turned his privileges back on. I mean, like after he turned on his privileges, like after those days, like he went back to like the lobby and he chilled there for like a time. But it was about like 3 days, and then he like came back on.
Okay. Yeah. So, since he had a relation with the dev, he basically got his privileges back after 3 days. I mean, like, and due to that, he basically gave a way for the players to essentially not become exactly like him, but to be like him.
Right.
In the higher levels. I'd say that's pretty dope.
Good. Yeah.
I'd say so as well. I would agree.
Our music set list from today's podcast was Toki Eluze or Eluzai, and our intro was by 𝖌𝖔𝖔𝖉. We hope you enjoyed today's conversation about the lore of our universe and the metaphor about our existence. I'm your host Mackenzie, and you've been listening to Mackie Around the Campfire. And as always, remember, Jesus, the Son of God, the admin, is the only one who can make you friends of God the Father, the Dev. He's the only one who can carry you to the victory over death and the power of darkness. In him alone is there a way to be forgiven and freed from the punishment of God for sin and sin's power. Jesus did indeed die, absorbing the judgment for the sins of everyone whom he loves and who comes to accept his offer. And dear listener, his love is not too weak to reach you. Even now, while the update of termination is still pending, his offer appears on your screen. Will you not take Jesus as your king and trust him as the one who died for you to be forgiven and have life with him in eternity? It's so free. He's literally your only hope. That's it for today. And the song of the day is a related allegory, Timothy Brindle, Pressing into the Kingdom.
Him by his death from in, I accept him in. I once slept in sin, yes, I'm now his resurrected kin. But the Christian race is starting, so let's begin. What a hectic thing I'm stepping in. A plethora of men and women expect to win. Trying to cross the border like a Mexican, but the kingdom doors are closing, let's be pressing in. It's not a competition to conquer Christians. We help each other get across the finish line. But those who turn back get killed when they halt and turn into a pillar of salt. But I thought salvation's through faith alone. Yes, but this faith is shown by those who make it home. Cause Christ's words are clear. Those who are saved endure to the end and persevere. The pilgrimage is through the wilderness, and I must kill my own sin and filthiness. I see the grind that's within, I'm despising my sin. To see the king's face is the prize at the end. Cause my portion's my Lord and my Father. I brought nothing with me but my sword and my armor. And I brought a pocket full of manna. In Christ's righteousness I'm rocking as my banner. He paved the way exact and gave this map to help me stay away from Satan's traps. Plus he gave me a spirit to guide me. When I'm weary and tired, his spirit revives me. I realize something drastic has happened that shapes my attractions and fashions my actions. I died with Christ and rose with him, so now I have dominion over sin. At first I ran great over landscapes, cause I can't wait to see the Lamb's face. Daily refreshed on new supplies of manna. With my sword I'm killing lies and slander. I see wolves in sheep's clothes. I was told that these foes are as greedy and cold as Pete Rose. I avoided their pack, but some of my boys were attacked and destroyed by the trap. I soon fell into a swamp of slime. At the sight of my sin I almost lost my mind and started spitting up at the sickening stuff. It was the sin that easily trips me up. These slithery cords started bringing me towards the bottom of the swamp. I was swinging my sword to slice them off of me. Now I feel tripe and sloppy, seeing this heights exhausted me. So I ran to a mountain of love and dove head first in its fountain of blood. After being renewed and cleansed, I realized it's better to run with a crew of friends. Plus I realize I'm my worst enemy. It's my own sinful nature that hinders me. On top of solid rock I'm running again, and not on soggy slop I'm shunning my sin.
The fight of my life, I sure can't afford to be slipping. This is the fight of my life, I sure can't afford to be slipping.
I then passed by the city of destruction, and I seen how it's wicked and disgusting, full of wicked worldliness and images of pretty girlies, hips and jiggy pearly wrists. When I passed her block I was asked to stop, but I had to say I'd rather not. I was slapped and socked as the laughing stock. I tried to warn them God's wrath is hot, but they abused this Christian. They refused to listen, they wouldn't choose the good news of the crucifixion. The city was full of pagans bragging, and its ruler was this huge flaming dragon. But this one cat asked for the Messiah, so I grabbed his hand and snatched him from the fire. But then this girl, she stopped and gave up. She loved the world more than the God of Jacob. I must reset my pace for the rest of this hectic race, so I shed some extra weight and kept my eyes on Christ, fixed on him, so I wouldn't slip and sin and trip again. But I took my eyes off Christ and tripped and stumbled down this cliff of rubble. I ripped my bundle, plus my hand is cut, my pants are stuck, and now I'm falling and I can't get up. I see the world's tyrant economy sponsored. It was this giant pornography monster. It grabbed my legs, I was stabbed with pegs, so I had to pray for a path to escape. Justin rushed in a crew of brethren. They rescued me from the crew I stepped in. Forget a jar, a scope, a bar of soap. I wash in the blood of the Lamb of God to soap. I see my weakness, now my strength is crushed. So Christ became my crutch and strength and trust. Jesus is my treasure, but he feels so far away in this dry desert. I know I must murder my sin and endure to the end, but now I'm thirsting for him, and I'm so anxious. So the Spirit led me to an oasis. My soul craves this. I drank from joyful springs to rest from my toil, to sing to the anointed King. Hallelujah. It renewed my hope in the open tomb, but then I see the kingdom doors, they're closing soon. I must be relentless to rush to the entrance, along with brothers who trust with repentance. But there's not a lot who are soldiers who run with the cross on top of their shoulders. By my roadmap, I'm soon reminded the gate is narrow and there's few that find it. And those that do don't dilly-dally in, they're really rowdy men who kill in battle sin. But at the last stretch, the porn monster returned to tempt me to be a whoremonger. So with my sword, I hacked it to pieces, cause I'm way more attracted to Jesus. Now I enter the gates, end in this race. Jesus, my hope and his splendor awaits. And though I'm pressing in, detesting sin, it's his blood and righteousness that gets me in. I'm now ready to see his majesty, it's the King of glory. I'm screaming happily as I bask in his presence. Perfect in pleasure, I worship forever with gladness and reverence. Wondering what's to come, and after 10,000 years it's as if it's just begun. Wondering what's to come, and after 1,000,000 years it's as if it's just begun.